welcome back to Immigrant Voices and Victories, where we share the personal journeys of different immigrants in the UK who have faced challenges and they have succeeded in their professional career. Some of our guests moved to the UK as professionals or as students or as even dependents of a professional. And today we have a wonderful guest with us, Naija mom in the UK, Mrs. Aminat Ayodele. She's such a wonderful person. I met her on YouTube actually as Naija mom. I was like, who is this lady speaking Yoruba on YouTube? By the way, Yoruba is a language in Nigeria. It's one of the major languages in Nigeria. And so I was like, yeah, I've got to interview this lady on Immigrant Voices. We need to hear her voice. We need to, hear her personal journey. And so we have her here. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, you're welcome. And if you're new here, why not consider subscribing to this YouTube channel? We share different stories of immigrants, and I believe that the personal journeys of different immigrants would inspire another immigrant, to do exploits, to start your next big thing, and whatever at all. So we're here today to hear Mrs. Aminat's personal journey, and I'm sure you're going to be inspired. So stay with us. We love on Immigrant Voices and Victories, we love to make our guests relax. So I'm just gonna, ask you, Mrs. Aminat, if you're okay with some icebreaker questions, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
I've got some question 1 to 14. If you're okay to choose
7.
Number 7. Do you prefer working from home or working from the office?
I prefer working from home.
Okay.
And also, I want to go back to working in the office. I've experienced working outside the home and working at home, and I'll choose working from home over and over again.
Wow.
And that's because the benefits are just, I don't know, it's really underrated. Like the fact that I've got to spend time with my family, I've got to be really involved with my kids at the same time still working is something that gives me joy. It's like I'm able to strike a balance between my work and family life. So I love the fact that I could take my break time to do something personal or just welcome my kids back from school. Even if they are not with me in the office where I'm working, at least I know that I'm not rushing out to get them from the nursery or from anywhere they are. So it's kind of give me peace of mind. So I'll choose it over any other thing.
Great. Shall we go for another one then?
Okay, I'll pick 12.
Number 12. Wow. What is something you did at work that no one noticed?
The last year when I was pregnant, because I was not in the office, it was until I told them that I was pregnant that they got to know. But ordinarily, if not for all the formal things that need to be put in place, I think up until I would give birth, nobody would know. Yeah, that's the only thing I would say that I did while that no one actually knows about.
Okay, great. Now let's get into the interview. Can you tell us about yourself?
Okay, so my name is Aminat Ayaodele. I'm a mom of 3. I moved to the UK in 2019 with my husband. My husband is a doctor, so he actually moved on a work visa, and I joined him. I'm a very fun person to be with. Like, I relate with people easily. I make friends easily. I don't really have any bosom friend because I'm a very free person. So once I meet you, I talk to you as if I've known you forever. And I think I've got, aside my career, I've got a very good personality in terms of listening to people. I must say I'm that person that people come to with their problems, and I have that listening ears. I have that skill of sharing stuff with them and make them happy after talking to me. So I would say that is one exceptional thing about me. I'm not proud, but it's something I admire about myself. It's one of my strengths.
You should be proud.
Yeah. So, but in terms of my career, I would say I'll say I'm diverse because back in Nigeria, I've worked in different sectors, both private and third sector NGOs, and I've worked in different capacities: internal audit, external audit, procurement, admin. And when I moved in the UK, I think it was pretty easy for me to apply for admin jobs and procurement jobs because of the experience I had back in Nigeria. I did my master's in the UK when I moved. I did my master's. I just graduated this year. I did my graduation this year from University of Suffolk. And at the moment, I'm still studying. Yes, I'm always studying because I feel bored when I'm not studying. So I really don't know when that is going to end. I feel bored easily. So I always want something to keep my brain active, to keep my brain busy. So I'm still studying.
Oh, wow, that's so great. So, what prompted your decision to move to the UK?
Well, marriage, because wherever my husband goes, I follow.
Love that.
So yeah, so I would say it's marriage because ordinarily I'm not sure I would have given it a thought to say I want to move, especially because I was already married right from Nigeria. If I wasn't, maybe it would have been a personal decision of I want to move or I don't want to move. But I would say I'm that moving train. Marriage is what is moving me around, at least for now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, marriage, mother, a professional. Tell us, how do you balance all of this? And also being a mom, Naija mom in the UK, you need to follow her chronicles of a mom on Facebook. She's making puff puff, she's making jollof rice, she's showing us her exercise routine. How do you balance this? How do you balance all of it?
I'm not going to say it's I'm not going to say it's easy, and I am not going to say I'm that perfect mom. I am not in any way. I am not in any way. The struggle is real, especially in this
Mm,
environment where one has to just double up. So, well, balancing. I'm not sure it can ever be balanced, to be honest. I'm not sure it can ever be balanced because once you are giving in something, something else is actually feeling the heat. So,
mm,
yeah, for example, when I do my exercise, if my kids are not joining me to do it, or if my little one is not really in the right state of mind, he is in a good mood to just leave me, that will not be possible. I am really intentional about the things I do. I am intentional about the time I spend with my kids. I am intentional about the food I cook. I love cooking, so I don't really see that as an extra chore to some extent.
mm.
I love cooking, even if I'm alone and I want to eat semo right now, I'll stand up and make that semo for myself.
Love it.
So yeah, and that is why I really don't see it as an extra task that I need to make out time for. And then I'm not saying I can't really say that I'm a very good time manager when it comes to balancing it. I can't really say that because I've got other factors, I've got other people depending on me. Sometimes they go out of my control. Like I can predict when my son would sleep, but I really can't predict if he will get sick or if he will get cranky. I really can't
Mm,
predict that. So, but I think it's just my ability to adjust to whatever comes to me
mm.
is how I've been able to manage it. For example, when I was studying, I was also working and I had my two girls. I was pregnant. It was a lot of things together. It was a lot of things. But we pulled through. I always tell myself I've got this. And when things don't go my way, I think I am that person that will beat myself up, but not for a long time. I'll feel bad about
Wow.
it, but I am not going to stay on it and start complaining about it. I'll move on. I move on easily and
Mm.
just look at
Wow.
other things that have done
Love
better.
that.
Yeah. So yeah, with
Wow.
the right
Love it.
spouse as well, I must say that I've got a very understanding spouse because sometimes house chores can be overwhelming, cleaning, folding clothes with little children. But even when my husband is always he is also someone that always writes exams, so he will always be reading. So for that fact, there are times that I will be the only one to step in for the family. I'll be the only one to put things in place. So at that point in time, I'll have a moral support this time around to say, I think this one can always wait. just leave it and rest. And there are times you just feel like, I think once the kids have eaten, they are not going to die if they don't take their bath in the morning. They can take it later at night. So I don't have that negative energy that will not say the little things I manage to do. I don't have that energy around me that will just condemn only the things that I'm unable to do. And to
Wow.
a very great extent, I must say I am not doing it alone. Is really
Mm.
involved, even if I'm busy with chores and things like that. It takes care of their academics, it get busy with their Quran class and things like that. So for the fact that I'm not going to add all those things to my schedule, I think it gives me that joy.
Joy.
Yeah, it
Wow.
gives me that joy to say that I am not alone in it. So
Wow, awesome. So if your mom out there, don't beat yourself down. You can hear that. Don't
yeah.
beat yourself down. Just move on. When things, don't always go your way, just move on.
Yeah.
What were some of the initial challenges you experienced as a newcomer in the UK? Tell us.
Well, I think one of it was the fact that because I'm a very sociable person, I love to make friends. So coming into an environment where it feels like no one around,
Mind your
like
business.
yeah, it felt so. I mean, I really do not like that. To be honest, I really don't like that. I just had to live with it even though it's still not part of me. There's a Nigerian mom in North Wales group that I created. We are close to 60 members there now. And
Wow.
yeah, that's because I love a community where women can share their worries, share their ideas, especially moms, where people can feel that they are not alone. So, but I didn't get to be in such community when I newly came. Everything you have to just figure it out yourself. So, but I must say, another thing was I was pregnant with my second daughter when I moved to the UK. And for the first about 6 months, I really did not feel it as such because I was down with pregnancy. The only thing interesting to me that I was to sleep. Yeah, so but after that, with kids and COVID, it felt so boring. Even though I have a family, I have a husband, I have my older daughter, but it still felt a little bit lonely to a great extent. So, but I think I'm not lonely again. I don't feel that way again because at that time I have not really identified what I wanted to do. Unlike
Mm.
now I am busy with many things. And I think it was even that COVID time that I created a female speak up group where women can talk about what they're facing. So a lot of ideas eventually came when I was less busy and with no one to, yeah. So, yeah. So, but another thing is pressure from home, pressure from friends back home. But I would say that really didn't get at me as such because I was working in Nigeria. And when I moved to the UK, people want to, your friends, they're always asking you, so what are you doing now? So what are you doing now? So, and seriously, I didn't really let that pressure get to me because I was always happy to tell them. I was not even giving the excuse of I was pregnant. That is why I'm not doing anything. I was always telling them I am still studying the environment and enjoying myself if that is what they care to know. So, but I
Wow.
understand a lot of women, they come to me, they say things like, when am I going to start working now? Which work can I do? I tell them, you guys should just calm down, especially when you've got little kids. This place is not just where you jump on a job. You have to factor your family demands into whatever you're
Mm.
doing. So yeah, pressure from home too was one of those things I didn't really appreciate. Even though I know some might think maybe they are looking out for me, but I am here. I am the one that understand my situation. I am the one that understand the environment that I am in. And it's difficult for me to be giving excuse of why I wasn't working there. So yeah,
Wow.
loneliness, yeah, and that pressure, I would say, were the only challenges. And the fact that no one, no nanny, no support, you have to be very hardworking.
DIY. Do it yourself, yeah.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, I had to be doing many things. Unlike when I was in Nigeria, I was practically not doing much when it comes to home management. I had someone coming to clean. I had a sister living with me. So moving to the UK with 2 children, I mean, when I had my baby and had to do everything all by myself, it felt overwhelming, but I had just said that now I don't think I'll wait for anybody before I get my things done now.
Wow, so good.
Yeah.
Awesome. What would you say was something you really did that helped you to overcome those challenges?
I'll say it's identifying myself, like a kind of self-awareness about the kind of person I am.
Mm,
I I eventually understood that I can't afford to keep complaining and staying indoor, not doing anything, just thinking. So I think it was within the time of, okay, work is not coming, or the job will always be there, but I couldn't go for it because I had 2 children, and we all know how childcare is in this UK. So
mm,
before you pick up on any job, you have to consider if it is worth it, especially if you are the mom, or if you are the one earning lower. How do I put it that way? Yeah, so you just have to put a lot of things into consideration. So I would say I manage it by trying to see, okay, if I am not working now, what else can I do?
mm,
If I'm not working now, what else can I do? So it was what prompted the idea of going for my master's. Okay, let me even start from doing a master's. At least that will keep me busy. I started
mm.
my master's when I was 9 months pregnant with my second child.
Wow.
Yeah, so but COVID happened and everything moved online, which made it actually easier to a
Mm,
great extent. Yeah. So another thing is talking to people. Like, you can't afford to live in isolation in the UK. You can't say, I'll figure it out myself. I'll do it all alone. When there are people you can talk to,
wow.
you can't say that. So I am not a person that just keep things to myself and feel like I'll figure it out. When I know that there are
Yeah,
people here, people that have been here, that I can ask how do they go about it, and then see if their advices and see which one would actually work for me. So I would say
yeah.
that I'm that person that speak up, that asks people how, if they've gone through what I'm going through and how they are able to navigate that. And then I'll see how to go about it too. So yeah,
Wow.
I'm very outspoken, so I would say that is it's because I talk. That is how I was able to navigate some of the
Awesome. I guess
challenge,
that's
and I
an
had for help.
advantage.
It is. It is not even when you are in need. It is an advantage everywhere at work, everywhere. You need to just
Mm,
be able to use your mouth to ask for things, because
yeah,
it is a kind of impression people have about you. That is the way they will treat you.
yeah.
So yeah.
Finding a support system would definitely, help you
Mm-hmm,
face your challenges. If you're new to the UK, if you've just
yeah.
moved, if you can find a support system, always
Mm-hmm,
just find someone to talk to, ask
mm-hmm.
questions and all of that. And also, if you're in Wales, come on, there is a Nigeria WhatsApp group.
Like
So,
that.
uh, you know, connect with Aminat Ayodele on LinkedIn. She's on Facebook, Nigeria Mom Chronicle. So, if you're in Wales, you have a community already that you could
Yeah.
join. Wow. So that brings us to cultural integration. So how did you approach cultural integration, for yourself and your family?
In terms of that difference in culture, it's in fact it's pretty easy for anybody to see me and my kids and know that we are not from here. We are not white, and we also dress in a way that is totally different from the way they dressed here. So we are Muslims, which is another thing. Well, I would say it doesn't really make much difference for me, so to say, because of the fact that I relate with people. I deal with people before even identifying their tribe or wherever they come from.
Awesome.
I deal
Yeah.
with you as a human being, as a person. So, and that is always my expectation of how I want people to treat me too. So if you are not treating me that way, I see that maybe
Mm-hmm.
you are treating me in a way because of my color or my religion, I'll definitely talk. So,
Wow.
but I haven't really had that experience, a bad experience, or of how people treat me or even treat my kids. Well, I would say I know in schools there are issues in school in terms of bullying and things like that. But because, as I always said, I am not a very quiet person. If my child reports anything to me, I don't let it slide. I don't let it slide. I go to the school, I hear my opinion, and to a very good extent, even if my child forgets something to report to me, they know me now. They know that I am interested in everything that is happening in this school, everything that my child is going through. So they call me themselves to tell me this is what happened today, and this is how we have been able to manage it.
Wow, that's
So
good.
yeah,
So,
so I would say and my kids, they dress exactly the same way. My children, the two girls, they cover like this, and that is
I
how
was
they've been
just
dressed
about to ask
to
that,
school.
that I've seen your videos and I see that the girls are in
Yeah,
hijab, and I was going to ask, do they wear hijabs to school?
they wear hijab to school right from day one. My 7-year-old daughter, she has changed school now since we moved. She started nursery where we were living before. And right from the day I took her to school, she's been on her hijab. My toddler that I took to school this afternoon, she's just started nursery this September and she dressed to school in hijab. So
Wow.
they have white hijab and the one that matches with their grey color trousers. And they wear trousers actually. I don't wear skirts for them because the skirts are always short. And I know that for them to put on skirts, they will need maybe leggings. And I know my kids don't like leggings. So I wear the free trouser that the boys wear. That is the way they dress to school. And no one has ever come to say they are not comfortable with their dressing. And
Oh, wow,
with the
that's great.
girls, yeah, with the girls, we talk about it. They go to two different schools. So it's not even about, oh, this is because the sister is there. No, they go to two different schools. And in each of the school, they are the only one that dress the way they dress.
Oh,
It's like, that is their identity. And
love it.
it doesn't really affect anything. It doesn't affect their learning. It doesn't affect their communication. It doesn't affect anything. So now they are having a Christmas carol and things like that. My daughter did a Christmas carol in her school with her hijab on.
Wow.
Nobody removed it. So I know that some women, they say things like, "Oh, we're not sure if they'll allow it," and things like that. Nobody is going to say you should not dress the way you want to dress. So it all depends on you. I didn't force any of my kids. So it's even difficult for me to tell the little one that you have to go to school with your heart alone or without hijab. She's not going to find it funny, probably because they've seen me dress outside like this. So they've understood that this is the way we dress as Muslims. And in school, they've identified them as Muslims such that whenever anything relating to religion wants to happen, they tell my daughter to come to the front and tell the whole class about our religion. So
Wow,
yeah,
that's
so
good.
we feel so comfortable. And in terms of church activities and things like that, they respected our opinion, they respected our stand when it comes to church activities. My 7-year-old, when she was in nursery and reception, she was participating in Christmas carol. Then there are other church things like they would say Saint something days that they do. At the time, she herself said she was not interested in participating because she doesn't want to go to church. And the school respected her. What they always do is to call me and say, we're going to church today. And Aisha said she's not going to church with us. So we've put her in another class that is not going, and we've kept her busy with some activity work. And that is it. We don't argue. We don't. In fact, the teachers, there are days they will call me and say, Aisha said her head is itchy. She needs to remove her hijab. So we want to confirm. Are you sure that it's okay for her to remove her hijab? Yeah. So the teachers help her to adjust her hijab if not well fitted. So I would say I'm not sure about other people's experience, but at least for me, we've not had any negative feedback around why are your kids dressing this way, or them telling us, okay, because we have an activity, we cannot allow them to dress this way. We have not had that experience. Also, we don't make it complicated for the school in such a way that my 7-year-old has withdrawn from church activities. She still participates in every other things, but they've understand that, okay, she can decide for herself which one she wants to participate in. But my 4-year-old, at the moment, even though we talk at home, okay, we are Muslims, we don't celebrate Christmas and things like that. At school, they pray in a Christian way. She say amen. They're having carol. She's in fact she knows the song more than even a Christian person. So at that point, we don't insist that, oh, we don't want her to be part of it. At that point, we know that the girl is still little. She has a very little understanding of the religion. So we will never say, my child will not participate. And it becomes a problem because the child at that age cannot really understand why she shouldn't participate, even though she knows that she's a Muslim. So for now, we let her involve in all the activities because it's difficult for you to tell a less than 4-year-old and say, I don't want you to join your friends that are singing, when she already knows all the song, when everything will be practiced in her presence, So yeah, so and
Oh,
my
that's
kids
good.
will not feel different in a way. They've already seen the way they dress as their identity. So they don't ever feel different as if, oh, because I'm a Muslim, I'm different from these people. No. We talk about it
Wow.
at home. It is what they love to
Awesome.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very good integration, which is something, as mothers, we should be able to portray in the UK that, we should be able to let our children know their identity. We
Mm-hmm.
as Christians, our daughter as well,
Mm-hmm.
whenever there's an activity, I always say it in our school, oh,
Mm-hmm.
Rema knows the Bible. This is something they always say. I was like, oh no,
Yeah.
she knows it. And on her reports, her end of year reports, they
Mm-hmm.
literally wrote, it
Right.
was part of the comment that was put there, that
Wow.
her contribution to religious session
Wow.
is exceptional.
Wow.
Yes, it's very, very important to let our
Mm-hmm.
children know their identity as we
Of course.
integrate into the culture. Because,
Mm-hmm.
I am a Christian, this is who I am, this is
Mm-hmm.
who you are, and this
Mm-hmm.
is who, we trust God that you will continue
Yeah.
to be. And it
Yeah.
is very, very important because
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of pressure out there.
There is.
We keep praying that as our
Yeah.
children grow, they will stay in that path. But,
Mm-hmm.
these are the foundation years. The Bible says something like, if the foundation is destroyed, what can the
Mm-hmm.
righteous do? So we must
Absolutely.
lay that foundation and be
Yeah.
able to tell our children, this is
Mm-hmm.
who you are. I
Yeah.
just love it how you're integrating. So to integrate into the culture as an immigrant, you need to be able to speak out. You need,
Yeah.
as well, you need knowledge. You need to be able to know the choices that are
Mm-hmm.
available for you to be able to make that choice. Children go
Absolutely.
to different schools. There are lots of things, we as
Mm-hmm.
well during Halloween, our daughter has an
Mm-hmm.
understanding that, this celebration, what is this celebration, why
Mm-hmm.
is this celebration happening? So it's very, very important to have that dear heart conversations with your
Yeah.
children as you integrate into the community. Wow, I'm
Yeah.
loving this. I always like to keep this 30 minutes, so this will be the end of part 1. If you're still watching, stay there. We are with the Naija mom, Aminat Ayodele, on
Thank you.
this episode of Immigrant Voices and Victories. Why not consider subscribing to this channel? It's so
Mm-hmm.
lovely to be able to share the personal journeys of different individuals,
Mm-hmm.
real experiences. There is no, there's no two way about it. We give it to
Mm-hmm.
you as it is.
Yeah.
So subscribe to this channel and
Yeah.
we'll see you in part 2. Don't go nowhere. See you in
Thank
part
you.
2. Good. Thank you. Subscribe, share, comment. See you soon. No limits. God bless you.